Life is not governed by chance. It is governed by law. Spiritual law, unwavering and precise. What you think and what you speak sets the stage for everything you experience. The invisible always precedes the visible. The thought comes before the thing. So, if you desire a life of harmony, abundance, and success, you must begin in the realm of the unseen, where words and beliefs are seeds, and every seed brings forth after its kind. Your world is a reflection of your inner conversation. If you speak lack, lack will answer. If you speak fear, fear will grow. But if you dare to speak abundance, health, and victory, even when appearances deny it, you summon the unseen forces that rearrange conditions to match your words. Never say, "I cannot," for the spirit within you knows no limitation. The instant you affirm, "Everything I need is already mine by divine right," you set divine currents in motion that cannot be obstructed. These words are not empty sounds, they are power, energy, and life. The law is simple. Whatever you prepare for, you will receive. Prepare for success, and success will seek you. Prepare for wealth, and wealth will find you. There is no such thing as lost opportunity. What is yours by divine right will come to you, under grace and in perfect timing. If something seems to slip away, rejoice, for something greater is on its way. Never grieve over what appears to be failure, for failure is merely an unopened door to a larger victory. Your part is simple, to speak the word and keep the faith. Let no fear, no doubt, no negative picture enter your mind. When fear whispers, answer with faith. When doubt comes, reply with certainty. Everything is working for my highest good. Nothing can stop the plan of the infinite for my life. The moment you stand firm, conditions begin to shift, obstacles melt, doors swing open, paths clear. So tonight, as these truths sink deep into your soul, let them wash away every belief of lack, limitation, and delay. Declare silently, "I now live in a universe of abundance. I am aligned with divine order. All that is mine by right flows to me with ease and joy." And so it is. The invisible precedes the visible. This is the eternal law that governs life, a truth that cannot be broken. Everything you see today began in the unseen realm of thought, belief, and imagination. Before the tree appeared, there was a seed. Before the house stood firm, there was an idea in someone's mind. Before wealth manifested, there was a belief in abundance. The world you experience with your senses is only the harvest of what was once invisible within you. Your thoughts and words are creative power, and they build the structure of your life silently before it ever appears in form. Most people try to change the outer world without realizing that the cause of everything lies within. They wrestle with conditions, fight with circumstances, and struggle to make things happen, not knowing they are only dealing with effects. The root of every condition is invisible, it is thought. A fearful mind produces fearful experiences. A mind filled with lack, thinking produces empty pockets and missed opportunities. On the other hand, a mind rich with faith and expectancy produces abundance and open doors. The invisible is the blueprint, the pattern, and the foundation of all that comes to pass. If you look at your life right now, it is a perfect mirror of your dominant thoughts and beliefs. If you have been speaking defeat, it is because defeat was already pictured in your mind. If you have been experiencing delay, it is because delay was already entertained in your imagination. The law works without fail. This is why you must guard the garden of your mind with all diligence. Do not allow weeds of fear, doubt, and limitation to take root, for they will bear fruit in your experience. Instead, sow seeds of truth, abundance, joy, and success. Speak only what you desire, and think only what aligns with your highest good. The invisible is not weak or powerless. It is far more powerful than what you can see because it is the cause. The visible world is only the effect, the shadow of what has already been established in the unseen. To attempt to change the effect without addressing the cause is like trying to change the reflection in a mirror without touching the object before it. If you want a new reflection, you must change what is standing in front of the mirror. In the same way, if you want new results, you must first create a new picture within your mind. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It takes courage to hold to the unseen when every sense screams the opposite. But the moment you choose to believe in the invisible reality of your good, you set spiritual law into motion. Conditions will rearrange, doors will open, and ways will appear where there seemed to be none. The invisible is always working for you when your mind and your words are aligned with truth. What you dare to imagine, affirm, and expect with unwavering faith will eventually take form. The invisible precedes the visible, and your inner world is the workshop of your destiny. Guard it well, for it holds the power to shape everything you will ever see. Words are not empty sounds, they are living forces that shape the conditions of life. Every word you speak carries vibration and power, setting in motion unseen energies that draw to you their likeness. When you speak words of fear, failure, or limitation, you open the door for those very experiences to come rushing in. But when your words are rooted in faith, truth, and abundance, you call forth blessings, opportunities, and success. Words are seeds, and they always bring forth after their kind. A careless word can plant weeds in the garden of your life, while a word of faith can plant a tree of prosperity that bears fruit for years to come. Most people speak without awareness, scattering words as if they have no consequence. They declare lack and wonder why lack follows them. They complain of illness and wonder why their health declines. They speak of defeat and wonder why doors remain closed. Yet the law is exact. What you decree will eventually manifest. The universe does not argue with your words, it obeys. Your words announce to life what you expect and what you prepare for. If you continually affirm limitation, you prepare for limitation. If you boldly declare abundance, you prepare for abundance. There is no middle ground, for the creative law responds to every word spoken with conviction. The spoken word is a bridge between thought and manifestation. Thoughts alone are powerful, but when clothed in words, they are intensified and charged with life. Words carry feeling, and feeling gives them wings. When you speak with emotion and certainty, your words go forth and accomplish the purpose for which you sent them. This is why declarations and affirmations are so powerful. They are not idle repetitions, but commands to the unseen forces that govern your experience. The more you speak them with faith, the sooner they materialize. You cannot afford to speak what you do not want to experience. Every time you say, I can't, you shut the door on possibility. Every time you say, I never have enough, you bind yourself to lack. Every time you say, things never work out for me, you set a pattern for failure to repeat. But the same law works in your favor when you reverse your words. When you declare, everything I need comes to me in perfect timing, you open the way for provision. When you affirm, I walk in divine health, you align with the life, giving force that renews your body. When you boldly say, doors of success open for me now, those doors begin to move even when you cannot yet see it. The world was spoken into existence, and your world is no different. Words formed it, and words can transform it. The moment you realize the creative power of your words, you become careful, deliberate, and wise in what you speak. You stop wasting energy on idle talk, complaints, and fear-filled statements, and instead, you choose words that give life. Speak peace, and you will live in peace. Speak increase, and you will walk in abundance. Speak love, and love will surround you. Your words are creative power, and when spoken in faith, they are unstoppable. Guard them, use them, and let them build the life you desire, for they hold within them the key to your destiny. Fear and doubt are the great thieves of destiny. They creep into the mind silently, planting seeds that choke out faith and delay the manifestation of good. Every time you allow fear to take root, you interrupt the flow of divine supply. Every time you entertain doubt, you close the door to opportunities that were already moving toward you. Fear and doubt are not passive feelings. They are active forces that create conditions in harmony with their nature. Fear attracts what is feared. Doubt attracts confusion and delay. They are magnets for lack, failure, and disappointment because they declare to life that you do not believe in its power to deliver what is yours by right. The law of mind knows no neutrality. It responds to your dominant state, whether that state is faith or fear. When you affirm your desire but secretly doubt, you send out two opposing currents, and the result is stagnation. It is like rowing in two directions at once. You go nowhere. The law cannot work for you while you are canceling it with your own thoughts. A single fear-filled statement can undo hours of affirmative prayer if you allow it to lodge in your mind. This is why it is essential to watch every word, every thought, and every feeling, for they are either opening the way or blocking it. Fear is faith in reverse. It is faith in evil instead of good, belief in failure instead of success. When you fear sickness, you are believing in sickness more than in health. When you fear poverty, you are believing in lack more than in abundance. The law works with whatever you give it, so if your mental picture is filled with disaster, it will begin to take form just as surely as if your picture were filled with victory. Fear imagines the worst and then magnetizes conditions to bring it about. Doubt, on the other hand, is a subtle enemy because it does not always roar like fear. It whispers. It suggests that your good is delayed, that perhaps it is not meant for you, that maybe the law does not work. If you listen, you weaken your vibration and slow the entire process of manifestation. To overcome fear and doubt, you must replace them with truth. When fear says, "It cannot happen," answer boldly, "It is already done in divine mind, and I now receive it." When doubt whispers, "You are not worthy," affirm, "Everything that belongs to me by divine right is now mine under grace." You cannot fight fear with effort, but you can dissolve it with faith. You cannot outreason doubt, but you can silence it with affirmations of truth. The moment you refuse to entertain these false suggestions, their power is broken. Fear and doubt have no reality of their own. They live only by the attention you give them. Turn away from appearances and hold fast to the unseen reality of good. Speak words of faith even when every sense denies it. Stand firm in the knowledge that what is yours cannot be taken, cannot be delayed, and cannot be lost. When you do this, fear loses its grip and doubt disappears like mist before the morning sun. Then the flow of abundance, health, and success rushes in unhindered because nothing is standing in the way. What is truly yours can never be taken away from you. It is held for you by divine law, safe and secure until the appointed time for it to appear. People often live in fear of losing their opportunities, their possessions, or their relationships, not realizing that nothing belongs to them unless it is theirs by right. What comes through struggle, force, or fear can easily slip away, but what comes through divine order is eternal and cannot be lost. If something seems to leave your life, it is only making way for something greater, something that truly belongs to you by the higher plan. There is no loss in the divine mind. There is only transition and preparation for a greater good. Many people cling to things and relationships because they do not trust the law. They hold tightly, thinking that without this particular thing they will not be happy or fulfilled. In doing so, they block the flow of what is truly theirs. Fear of loss attracts loss, because fear is a creative force just as faith is. When you fear losing something, you send out a vibration that actually pushes it away. But when you release it in faith, knowing that what is yours cannot go to another, you open the door for it to return multiplied, or for something far better to take its place. What is yours will come, even if the whole world seems against it, and what is not yours will depart, even if you try to hold it with both hands. This truth brings peace because it removes anxiety and strain from life. You no longer have to chase after good or cling in desperation. You simply affirm, "What belongs to me comes to me now, under grace and in perfect timing. Nothing can stop it, and nothing can delay it." When you live in this consciousness, you walk in freedom, knowing that the divine plan for your life cannot be broken. No person, no circumstance, and no mistake can take away what is rightfully yours. Opportunities that seem to pass you by were never meant for you. They were not part of your divine pattern. If a door closes, it is not rejection, it is redirection. If someone walks away, they were never meant to stay. The law is exact and it brings perfect balance. When one thing goes out, something better is on its way in. The only time people experience real suffering is when they fight the process, when they mourn what is gone instead of rejoicing for what is coming. Gratitude for the unfolding good keeps the channels open, while resentment or regret shuts them tight. The higher law never deprives you, it only replaces the lesser with the greater. What is yours cannot be lost because it exists in divine mind, and divine mind never loses anything. Appearances may deceive you into thinking something is gone forever, but appearances are not reality. Reality is spiritual, unchanging, and eternal. Hold to that truth when the outer world looks empty, and you will soon see fullness appear. Trust that the plan of the infinite is always for your good, and you will move through life without fear of loss, without anxiety, and without doubt. You will know that every seeming loss is only a step toward greater abundance, greater joy, and greater fulfillment, because what is yours by right will always find its way to you. Preparation is an act of faith, and faith is the substance of all things hoped for. When you truly expect something, you prepare for it. If you believe that abundance is coming, you make room for it. If you expect success, you begin to act as though success were already yours. This is not pretending. It is aligning yourself with the reality you desire so that when it arrives, you are ready to receive it. Too many people say they believe, but their actions contradict their words. They speak prosperity yet live in the consciousness of lack, waiting to see before they prepare. The law does not work that way. Seeing comes after believing, and believing is demonstrated through preparation. Preparation is the evidence of expectation. If you want to attract greater opportunities, prepare your mind and your environment for them. If you are praying for new doors to open, then start clearing the old clutter that no longer serves you. If you are asking for love, prepare by becoming the person who can give and receive love freely. If you are affirming wealth, organize your finances as though wealth were already yours. You cannot expect something and then live as though you do not believe it will come. That is double-mindedness, and it cancels the very thing you desire. When you prepare for what you want, you are signaling to the universe that you are ready to receive. It is a declaration without words that says, "I know my good is on its way." Just as a farmer prepares the soil before planting seeds, you must prepare your life before the harvest can come. No farmer waits for crops to grow before preparing the field. He acts in faith, knowing that the law of growth will not fail. In the same way, you act in faith by preparing for the blessing you have claimed. Faith without preparation is empty, but faith with preparation draws manifestation swiftly. Consider the person who prays for a new home but never packs a single box. They are asking with their lips, but their actions reveal doubt. Or the person who prays for financial increase yet complains and mismanages what they already have. How can the law trust them with more when they do not prepare for greater responsibility? Preparation is proof that you are serious about your desire. It is the outer demonstration of an inner conviction. The moment you prepare, unseen forces begin to move. Doors open, ways are made, and conditions arrange themselves to match your expectation. Preparation also lifts you into the vibration of what you want. When you act as if it is already yours, you feel the joy of possession, and that feeling magnetizes the reality. If you desire health, prepare by eating and thinking like a healthy person. If you desire success, prepare by studying, learning, and positioning yourself for the opportunity you believe will come. Do not wait for signs. Act on your faith now. The law cannot bring you what you are not ready to receive. Every step you take in preparation is a silent affirmation that your good is certain. It is not arrogance, it is trust in divine order. When you make space for the blessing rushes in to fill that space. When you set the table, the feast will appear. Life never fails to deliver to the one who is prepared. So prepare in faith, prepare with joy, and know that what you desire is already yours in the unseen, waiting for the moment you are ready to claim it. Faith alone is powerful, but faith without action is like a seed left in the packet. It holds the potential for a forest, yet produces nothing because it was never planted. Action without faith is just as empty, for it becomes striving and struggle without the energy of conviction behind it. But when faith and action work together, they create a force that nothing can stop. Faith provides the vision, and action gives it expression. One without the other is incomplete. The law of manifestation requires both, unwavering belief in the unseen and corresponding movement in the seen. Faith is the inner knowing that what you desire is already yours by divine right. It is confidence in an outcome that has not yet appeared. Action is the physical step that matches that confidence. When you believe, you do not sit still and wait for something to happen. You begin to act as though it were already accomplished. This does not mean forcing things or rushing ahead in fear. It means taking steps that align with your desire, steps that demonstrate your expectation. If you believe for financial increase, you begin managing your resources wisely, speaking words of abundance, and preparing for overflow. If you believe for a new home, you start clearing your space, packing boxes, and setting your mind in order for the transition. These actions send a message to the universe. I am ready to receive what I have claimed. When faith and action unite, delays dissolve because you are working with the law instead of against it. Too many people pray for their desires yet live as though nothing is changing. They say they believe, but their actions betray their doubt. On the other hand, some rush into frantic activity without the steady anchor of faith, and they end up exhausted with little to show for it. True power comes when both are present, when your heart is fixed in certainty and your steps match that certainty. That combination cannot be resisted. It moves unseen forces, rearranges conditions, and brings results that appear miraculous to those who do not understand the law. Action taken in fear produces confusion, but action taken in faith produces harmony. When you move because you are afraid of missing an opportunity, you are acting from lack and insecurity, and the results will reflect that vibration. But when you move because you know your good is certain, every step is ordered and everything falls into place. Faith gives you the assurance that the outcome is guaranteed, and action gives that assurance a channel through which to flow. A farmer does not wait for a crop before planting. He plants because he believes in the harvest. Likewise, you act not because you see, but because you believe. Every great success begins with an inner conviction followed by outer expression. The law does not reward words alone. It responds to words, thoughts, and deeds in harmony. When you declare your intention and then take steps toward it with unwavering faith, you become unstoppable. Obstacles vanish, doors open, and resources appear. Life supports those who move with confidence, so hold the vision in faith and walk in that faith through action. Together, they form the key that unlocks every door and brings every desire from the unseen into the seen. So as these truths settle into your heart, let them become the language of your life. Begin to think differently, speak differently, and expect differently. The law never sleeps, and it always responds to your dominant words, thoughts, and actions. From this moment forward, walk in faith, not in fear. Declare that what is yours cannot be lost, that your words create your world, and that every step you take in preparation leads to greater good. Believe it, speak it, live it. Your life is not waiting to happen. It is happening through you right now. Every word you speak, every thought you hold, every action you take is writing the next chapter of your story. Write it with courage, write it with confidence, and write it with unwavering faith. You were created for abundance, for success, for joy, and nothing can keep it from you but yourself. So rise and take your place. Act as if it is already done, because in truth it is. The unseen has already prepared the way. Now walk into it, and so it is.